Yeah, I have to be very grown up because my team just conceded a 94th minute equaliser in a game they should have won. But I have just witnessed Ipswich Town 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Oh, wow. Well, it was very exciting at the end, but oh my God, I hate it when games finish like that. So Mick goes with the strong team. He was looking like he wanted to pick up the points before the 2 away games, so he didn't rest anybody. So the guys up front, Selina, Waghorn, McGoldrick, all there. Garner, Connolly kept his place in midfield. Wednesday went with Jordan Rhodes, who normally scores passes. Not today. Bannon's good in midfield. Hooper, obviously, ex-Norwich. And straight away, big kind of issue, McGoldrick on the touchline. He beats Louvens to the ball, and Louvens, it looked really bad, but McGoldrick did him. So it wasn't like he went in and slammed his foot into him. And I think that's what kind of saved him. I think the ref saw it as a kind of, oh, they just kind of bashed into each other. I saw it in real time. I was in the top tier, but looking right at it. And yeah, look, if you watch anything in slow motion, look, on Sky, it always looks way worse. But I can kind of see why he just thought they were clashing together and he was late rather than it was some dangerous studs in. But he obviously didn't give a foul, so there can be no yellow card or red card or whatever. Be interesting to see if the assessors have a look at that one though. And that kind of, McGoldrick was a little bit, I don't know, a little bit in a grump after that. He kind of chases through, picks up on a loose ball, plays McGoldrick in like 3 minutes later. Excuse us, sorry. He runs in and, you know, McGoldrick doesn't pass in those positions, blasts it over with his right foot. Normally he likes to kind of work the defender and go one side of him, and then but the defender just kind of stood off him, so it didn't really work for them. Corner for Wednesday. Second phase here, good cross. And this is like Wednesday's only really good chance of the half. Rhodes like glances it and Bart's kind of scrambling it. Just goes wide. Good chance, good cross back in. Quietens down, kind of bit and cat mousey. Both teams standing off each other. Wednesday having sort of more possession. Ipswich having a bit more territory and doing more with it when they got it. Kenlock chests it down. Great ball forward, McGoldrick. He passes it this time, goes back to Connolly. Everyone's kind of shouting shoot, and everyone backs off, and it's a fairly firm shot, but straight at Westwood in the goal. McGoldrick feeds Selina. He cuts in straight at Westwood again. Good interception from Kenlock. Great first time ball over the top. Garner down the line, kind of loopy cross, and Selina has to run in and dive in and header it. They had trouble with the wind all night, well, both teams really, but some of the crosses held up, as we will come to later, very painfully. Well, we got Skews wins another one. McGoldrick with a weak left footer. Wednesday kind of architects their own downfall. So from about 22 to 30 minutes, Ipswich really had the kind of better of it and had those 3 chances. Wallace with a curler. Bart dives but pulls his hands away. That wasn't on target. Wallace with a crap free kick. 30 to 40 minutes was all a bit, after you, everyone retreating and not wanting to give up territory. And then right at the end of the first half, Waghorn, the exact guy you wanted to fall to because he's got that really demon left foot. Horrible mistake by Wednesday at the back. I think he was surprised it came to him, thought he had more time, takes it first time and kind of wrapped his foot around it too much and into Westwood's arm. Poor finish. Second half, McGoldrick comes out for the second half to play and obviously just decides that he can't continue. So, bit worrying. Ipswich have a game on Saturday, a game on Tuesday, and then a game the following Saturday. So, I don't know. It's maybe unlikely that we might see him on Saturday now at Aston Villa. Horrible sleepy start to the first half from Ipswich. They really didn't get going. And Rhodes has a chance, like Spence. I don't quite know what he knew about it, but Rhodes is the last guy, heads it at goal, and Spence just kind of blocks out like with the back of his head or something. And then Ipswich take the lead. I was just writing down how bad they'd started the second half, like really sleepy, and then they take the lead. So Sears gets behind, he tees up Waghorn, and it gets blocked out for a corner. Selina takes the corner and Spencer's gone to the near post and he flicks it on. Everyone else goes with Spencer. Now best header Garner goes to the far post. If that was deliberate, that was a great goal, and he's got a really easy one to put in, which is great because there's some people getting on Garner's back for not scoring enough goals, which I think is ridiculous because he's playing up there on his own, trying to bring the other three behind him onto the attacks and being very, very kind of selfless when he's doing it. So it's nice to see him score. It's his 5th of the season as well, so we're just over a third of the season. Pro rata, he'll end the season with 15 at that rate, which would be fine for someone in that position, which would be great. So 1-0 to Ipswich straight into second half. Another muddly few minutes. They looked a little bit nervous and got a bit hemmed in by Wednesday. Bannon is a good player. He kind of buzzes about. He's very fit and very pacey, and he kind of pushes everything forward. I like him. Ipswich kind of moved back to a 4-4-2, interestingly, when Sears came on for McGoldrick, so he kind of went right, and like Selina as an orthodox winger, and Wednesday kind of took one look at this and started playing against Kenlock and Selina because that looked a little bit dangerous down there. Hughes takes a yellow for a professional foul on Bannon. Then Fletcher comes in for Fox, which is very attacking from Carvajal. Waghorn with a great bit of skill flips it over his guy, plays Sears in, and Sears, I banged the drum for him for ages. He's got no confidence, the poor guy. He goes through. Westwood comes out fairly quickly, but then he has a heavy touch to take it away instead of a first-time left footer trying to make the defender make a block or whatever. He comes back on his right foot. Westwood repositions himself. Shall I pass it? Shall I shoot? Shoots straight at him. Reasonable chance. Lee comes in for Wallace, and then on 63, just weirdness. I'm gonna give Spence the benefit of the doubt and maybe blame the wind. Gets floated in and he's kind of all confused, and he must have been turning and looking and turning and handballs it, obviously. Penalty. Hooper smashes the penalty in. Their first shot on target. It's 1-1, so felt a bit hard done to. And then they had another chance. Reach puts it just wide, and Wednesday are on top after this. Mick reacts really quickly and really decisively. He puts Emir Hughes in. I predicted Hughes would only come on if we were winning, so Mick obviously thinks he's more ready than I thought. Goes back to a 4-2-3-1. Interestingly, with Hughes at the front of the midfield three, so he's not looking like he's maybe going to play that sitting back position, which might be interesting for the future games. But then if McGoldrick's not round, you can just slot straight into that hole. And then straight away, Hughes has a really big impact. Sears with a quick throw. Garner doesn't quite get to it. Comes back to Sears. Waghorn's free. Everyone's screaming to cross it. Sears takes another touch. He crosses it in. Goes all the way over. And Hughes with a brilliant hook back. And it's just a great goal because Waghorn is like jumping. And right at the top of his jump, he heads it. And it loops right into Westwood's top corner. Waghorn is a great goal scorer. It's his 9th league goal of the season. Must have only made 11 or 12 starts as well. He's been a brilliant son. Really like him. And he took he didn't take a kick actually. He kind of collapsed in the first half. And don't know what was going on there. But yeah, great to see him get another goal. And Hughes comes on, gets an assist within a minute. So you have to put big tick in the Mick box there for that substitution. Lee booked for a foul on Garner. Ward then comes in for Waghorn just to give a bit of extra running power and sits in that right position. So you're then 3 behind. Garner is Sears, Hughes and Ward. All the substitutes basically. Hunt gets booked for a foul on Garner. Chambers and Westwood have this really kind of sexy hug fight thing. The corner goes in and they like grab each other, and it's the most macho, unmacho thing I've ever seen. They both obviously want to punch each other and realise they're on TV playing football and can't, so they just have this big long hug. It was quite beautiful. So then Jordan Rhodes comes off, and if you've watched Game of Thrones, the Mountain comes on basically. Antti Nuihu, who is just massive, honestly, absolute unit of a bloke. Should be a wrestler rather than a footballer. I was looking at his build compared to all the other players on the pitch. No one looks anything like him. He's got shoulders massive, can't run. He's only on there just to kind of beat up. So surely he'll do nothing, will he? No, of course he won't. Fletcher heads over. Sheffield Wednesday's last chance. Ipswich win 2-1 and we can all go home. No, we can't, because the ref puts up 5 minutes of injury time. I don't want to be a whiny, pissy-moany football fan, but don't know where he got 5 from. They kind of play out the first 2 or 3 of them pretty well. They keep running to the corner. And then this final time, Sears goes into the corner. It gets given away. Now, people get very frustrated when their teams concede late goals. So there's going to be a load of heat on Sears. for running in a corner and losing it. But really, Connolly, who played very well, horribly dives in, and that's what breaks them through. He dives in the midfield. It ends up out wide with reach, and he crosses it in. It kind of loops up, and there's just too many forward. And Newey, who doesn't have to jump, and he just heads it in the back post. Absolutely bloody gutting, because I thought Ipswich kind of played well. They pushed on. They had the better of the territory. They got the opening goal. Aberration, handball for a penalty. And then Mick makes the right sub, puts us back 2-1 up. We seem to have done all we can, very kind of nobly. And yeah, just the big villainous substitute comes on and heads one in. So fair dues, that was their game. Ipswich couldn't cope with it at the end. Very, very, very frustrating. And there's this run of 5 games now, and you'd look at 8 points from the 5 games to be good, and they've drawn the first 2. They've drawn them both 2-2. So still scoring loads of goals, but still obviously conceding loads. Conceded 4 in the last 2 games, and only 2 points. So you'd look at, for an acceptable return now, another 6 points from the next 3 games, which is hard because obviously you have to win 2 of them. I think we can beat Forest, but the next 2 games, away at Villa and away at Derby on the Tuesday. Don't know what Mick's going to do, whether he's going to go for it on Saturday and then rest people on Tuesday, or rest people for both. If he's got a good squad, he can rest people for both, presumably. Don't know whether McGoldrick's going to be fit, but yucky. Yeah, bit gutted. I don't think I'm being biased to say Ipswich had the better of that, and I thought they'd got a deserved win. But you've got to see it out. Opposition player of the game is probably Bannon. Sheffield Wednesday did not play that well at all. Could Louvens have gone? Let me know. I didn't see it on Sky. I haven't seen 85 replays of it, and they probably didn't have too much to talk about at half-time, so I'm sure they did that to death. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I barking up the right tree, the wrong tree? If you're a Sheffield Wednesday fan, was that a good performance, bad performance by you? If you're an Ipswich fan, are you gutted? Do you blame Sears or Connolly at the end there? I certainly don't blame Mick for that one. I thought his substitutions were good. Listen to the podcast on Monday. Next week, there's going to be 2 games to talk about. Follow on Twitter at BlueManUnited. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. And subscribe to this channel and give me a thumbs up if you like my lovely balanced review of this game and not being too grumpy. Right, I'm off to go and throw myself off the Orwell Bridge. But it's closed because it's too windy, so I can't even do that. Onward to London!